Hi everyone. I thought I would hop on today and talk about something that seems to come up really often in my world. From years ago as a fitness instructor and a personal trainer to current as a yoga therapist, everybody is really concerned about the core. Lots of reasons: aesthetics and how they look, functionality and how our back health is playing a factor, how we move, how mobile are we. And so I thought I would address it. The core is everything from the collarbones, top of the shoulders, all the way down to the base of the pelvis, which involves the hips and the hip sockets, the spine and the shoulders and the shoulder girdle. And it all works together. Long gone are the days of isolated movement patterns where we just lay on the floor and do crunches. There are still a lot of people doing those, but they're not very functional. They're not systemic. They don't really work towards whole body mobility kind of action. So I wanted to give you these 3 exercises today that deal with the different functions of our core. Okay, so the first function is forward bending or contracting or flexion. The other one is back bending or extension, right? So we move in this pattern. This is flexion and extension. The second one is lateral flexion, which is side bending. And the third one is rotation. Those are the 3 major functions of our core. And then, of course, we have a multitude of combinations throughout the day. But pretty much everything we do involves those 3 functions. The other thing I want you to think about is something that I'm calling muscle-centric movement. And this is patterned after learning about how important muscles are. And we've always thought, I've always been trained that muscles are for mobility and structure and getting us to move around and function. But we know now that the muscles are all of our body muscles are one big organ. And this organ, when contracted, when exercised, actually releases chemistries to help our brain health and our endocrine health. And as we get older, this is more and more a factor. So muscle-centric movement, contracting and building muscle. Maybe we're going to do bicep curls. Maybe we're going to do squats. Today we're going to do this whole body core movement. Each exercise is a minute long with a quick break in the middle for a total of about 5 minutes. You can do 1 exercise and rest and not do it again. You can do all 3 and rest and not do it again. You can do all 3 and cycle 2 or 3 times. I wouldn't do it more than 3 times. And that's only 15 minutes total. I'm in my office. I'm barefoot. You can do it anywhere. They're super easy, but they do involve a little bit of balance. And so all I'll say about that is if you have a little balance challenge, just make sure you're near something that you can put your hand on. Okay? So let's do the first exercise. Reach the arms up over your head, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Think of extension. I'm reaching up into a closet. And then as we exhale, I'm going to bring my elbow and my one leg up to make this a flexion or a back forward bend. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And I'm just going to go back and forth. Exhaling on the contraction or the effort, stretching my arms up as far as I can to get that extension. I want you to feel like you're really opening the front of the body when you reach your arms up over your head and really contracting when you pull your arms down. And you just keep moving. If it feels too fast, slow down. A little harder to balance when you slow down. And if it feels too slow, speed up. This is where you could hold a weight in your hand, maybe a 2 or a 3. I wouldn't go much higher than that. And you move, and that's going to make it much more challenging. And we just keep going through the minute. And go ahead and rest. Take a quick drink of water if you need it. We're going to do about maybe a 10 to 15 second rest, not too long. and then we'll go again. The second one is similar. It's going to work on the side bending piece, but we're only going to do one side at a time. So reach one arm up, put the other arm down on your waist, and you're going to bring your knee and your elbow together out to the side, reach up, reach up. Can you see how I'm lengthening the side of my body and then contracting it at the same time when I pull my elbow and knee down? Very similar to the first exercise. This is lateral flexion. And again, I'm pulling in my hip mobility as part of the action. And we're doing about 30 seconds. And then we'll switch sides. Reach, contract, reach, contract, reach, contract. And working at a pace that creates a little breath, a little sweat, a little effort. Doesn't have to be the hardest thing you've ever done, but it should create those physiology reactions in the body. Okay, last one, and then rest. Again, another quick 15 or so second rest. The third one is for rotation. So I'm going to take my arms out in front of me. I'll turn so you can see. And we're going to sit back in a little seat. Baby squat, we call this. I want you to keep your shoulders relaxed and your spine long. And you're going to stand and rotate. Land, rotate. So I sit and I turn. I sit and I turn. Big action through the waist. I'm real short-waisted, so my twist seems a little smaller. That's just because I don't have a lot of physical space in between my rib cage and my pelvis. The arms and legs are just helping to keep this a little bit more systemic, a little bit more full body. And then let's switch sides. If I were holding weight, I would hold one weight with both my hands, keeping my arms nice and straight. Sit down, stand up. And you're just breathing, focusing on the exhale, on the twist. One more. And there you have it. So I would rest. I'd give it about a minute. And then if you wanted to do the cycle all over again, do it again. The way that you would know to start over is your respiration has calmed down. You can hear I'm still breathing. I live at 7,000 feet, which actually makes it harder to breathe. A little bit more challenging than if I were at sea level. So using your own perceived exertion and how hard you want to work. But each day, maybe doing a little bit more and a little bit more. I'm going to take the minute rest, and then I'm going to do it again. Alrighty. So there you have it. The core, the tips for the core, which is whole body, get your heart rate and your breath going, exercise during fasting. I didn't say that earlier. So that you're using your fat stores versus your glycogen stores for fuel. Do exercises that work on the mobility of the body. And in this case, we did flexion and extension, lateral flexion or side bending, and rotation. Those were the three functions that I focused on for the three exercises. There's so many more you can do, and so many other things I could talk about when it's related to the core. But for today, muscle-centric movement, whole body, vital function, activity of the body so that you feel terrific. So until I see you next time, thanks so much and have fun with this.